I've asked Tim McKibbin from the Real Estate Institute of New South Wales to join me each week and provide you a whole range of tips to help you with your own property journey. This week we get the ball rolling with a little more information about exactly what the Institute does. Tim, welcome to the program.
Pleasure to be here, Margaret.
Tim, can you tell me first of all, what does the Real Estate Institute of New South Wales actually do?
I guess we're a multifaceted business. We are principally, are here as a professional association representing the interests of real estate professionals. That's real estate agents, valuers and strata managers by way of some example. But we're also, as I said, a multifaceted business, so we have other aspects to it. We're a training organisation, we sell forms and provide a variety of other services to assist property professionals in the field in delivering their services.
So who are your likely members?
Real estate agents, I suppose, make up the majority of our membership, but as I said to you before, there's a variety of other people who have an interest in property generally, who want to see the interests of property advanced at a political level, also buying a variety of services and that we have.
Now, Tim, most industry associations have some kind of a code of practice. What does yours involve?
Yeah, we do have a code of practice, and that's why our organisation is voluntary. So somebody who elects to be a member of our association has to then, I suppose, in a contractual sense, sign on to that code of practice and then to accept the responsibilities that imposes on somebody. So we have a regulatory environment set by the government, and then somebody who wants to adopt, I guess, the systems that we impose on somebody has to put that over the top of that. So I guess if somebody's selecting a real estate agent, it's not a bad place to start to say you really should be looking at a member of the Institute because they've got the additional obligations.
Okay, so if I was a real estate agent and I decided that I'd like to become a member of the REINSW, what would you do for me?
Information is probably one of the best things that we're providing out into the field. By way of some example, recently the Residential Tenancies Act went through a massive review. Now that was a huge impost, I guess, on the way practice had evolved in that particular area. And what we were able to do is to go into the market with our agents and provide them with all of the information necessary for them to be able to deliver their services in a compliant manner with the new legislation, and also provide them with all of the forms and agreements and other documentation that they needed to be compliant. So as a member, you get that, I guess, as a starting point. Also at another level, we're down there in Macquarie Street speaking to our elected members, pointing out to them the things, I guess, in relation to property that need looking at: planning, taxation, housing affordability, those sorts of things. So we're fighting the fight for consumers as well, I suppose.
So if I was actually wanting to buy a property or sell a property, what sorts of things could the Institute do for me as a consumer? It's
a really good question, Mark, because we've actually started to move, I guess, a little bit more into that space, trying to provide some information to consumers, responding to that need. It is a very emotional time when people buy property. For many of us, it'll be the biggest single investment we ever make, committing ourselves typically to a mortgage of 20 or 30 years, so it's quite intense, and I think people are looking for some certainty. I notice that the information you provide out there in the market is greatly received, and we're looking to supplement that and to assist people with their inquiries. So what we will be doing is, I guess, improving the information we make available on our website, all the analytics in suburb on suburb, looking at that particular area of where consumers are, I guess, seeking that sort of information to make an informed decision.
Now, although you're the Real Estate Institute of New South Wales, really you have a bit of a national focus, and you're really concerned with ensuring that the delivery of real estate services is really fair across the country. That being said, what is it that my viewers should be looking for in their local real estate agent?
I think when you're looking to retain a real estate agent in a transaction, I think the very first thing you need to be asking yourself is, can I get along with this person? That's the very, very first thing. It's when in the transaction you'll typically have a solicitor or a conveyancer, and I'd make exactly the same comments about that. This is somebody you need to work with. This is somebody that is going to assist you through, I think, what can be a very, very stressful time in your life, either buying or selling a property. So you really do need somebody that you can work with, somebody you have some confidence in, somebody who you trust.
I guess it's a little bit like choosing your friends, really, isn't it, when it comes to choosing a real estate agent?
I like the analogy, exactly right. And nobody can actually prescribe that. It's people who you can work with, but most certainly you do need to work with these people. You need to have confidence and trust in them. So I guess my advice to anyone who's looking to retain an agent, there will be hopefully a few choices in your high street. go up and speak to all of them and build that relationship. But it is very important that you have a solid working relationship with your service providers, the real estate agent, the solicitor, the conveyancer, and that'll take all the stress out of the entire process.
And I guess that's it, isn't it? Doing a little bit of shopping around first before you actually choose the one agent you're going to go with will give you a good feel for the different kinds of agents that are out there.
That's exactly right, and the agents will be more than happy to come and give a presentation to you about the services they'll offer and discuss the entire process. After all, they're the experts. They'll take you through it, and once you have confidence in them, then of course they can come in and provide those services to take you through it. But it is regularly a very stressful time for people. It is a time when they're buying, as I said, the most expensive asset in their many of us will ever buy. So if they can take the stress out of it and have the confidence in their providers, that's the way to go.
Now, Tim, a lot of people get really concerned when they look around for a real estate agent because they don't really know how much they should be paying if there's an industry standard. Is that the kind of information that they can get off the REINSW?
There is no industry standard. There is no set fees, if that's your question. And things, even with, with advertising and auction expenses, and these move from one suburb to another, and from town to town, and actually from state to state. So there's no set standard in. And with the professional fees that agents charge for their services, again, that's completely deregulated and open to negotiation.
Okay, so when someone just wants to get started out, they'd like to find a real estate agent, do you have a website they can go to?
Certainly on our website, it lists all of our members there, and as I said to you before, I'd encourage people to select one of our members. If you are using an REINSW member, then obviously our code of practice sits above on top of their existing obligations, so you have the comfort of knowing that they're well informed from the services we provide them here, and they've signed on to ethical and best practice processes.
Okay, well look, thanks for joining us, and I
Pleasure,
hope
Margaret.
you'll come back next week.
Love to be here.
Excellent, thank you.